Hello and welcome back to Adventures of Me, and today, for Gamer Day, we're going to be talking about a very much loved game, and that is Batman Arkham Asylum. This game, I really did enjoy this. I thought it was very good breakaway from the traditional superhero franchise game. I think that it really did changed the face of comic book games and comic book franchise games, only because there was this kind of stigma around, like, I guess, the licensed games and all that. They just didn't do that well. They often had issues with the way that they operated. They kind of churned out really quickly because they're just trying to cash in on what's popular at the time. And this game just so happened to have broken that mold, and it was amazing. Just like some of the things that you come across in the game that you just don't expect. My favourite part is when the game, like, you're under the influence of the fear gas thing, and as you're starting to play through this area, you just all of a sudden like freezes and it looks like it's glitched out. I remember the first time that happened, I thought that my console had broken. I panicked, and then of course it does its little reset thing, and it's like, oh, it's just a little joke that they've thrown in. I reckon there probably were a few people that, hit the eject button or turned off the power on the console straight away to try and rectify that, not realizing that it was part of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they reacted really quickly to it, especially if you're sitting close to the console. But I like this. It kind of redefined a lot of the, I guess, staple things that are in games now, with the combat controls, for like reactive combat. I guess that's what I would call it. I don't know what it's technically called. I'll call it reactive combat, where the way that you actually fight in the game is kind of focused on countering and using those combos. It's the same in Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. It's the same as a lot of Assassin's Creed, especially mainly the more traditional Assassin's Creed games. It's been used a lot in games now, and also things like the grappling up onto the parts that you can up the top. I know that's been used in some games. Later on in the Batman ones, I don't remember it being in this, but you get like the tower type thing, climbing up to the different map points on the towers. Like it used a lot of those things. The first game I played where it kind of was defined like that was Assassin's Creed, just the combat and that, which did change a little bit, but this was around, I guess, similar times. A lot of those games coming out, they came out very similar periods of time, and they kind of all started doing this one style of gameplay, and that's what became popular, I guess. So there's that to think of. I guess it became very mainstream, and it just came in at the time where it was new. It was a much newer way of playing, and I think that's part of why it's very popular. But in saying that, like, the way that it works, it's almost like that turn-taking combat style, like you see in movies where the villains literally just take their turns before they jump in, because that's how they have to do the framing of the shots and things like that. I've watched quite a few videos in the past couple of months about, like, stuntmen, and like when they're doing different fight scenes. I guess it's stunt women as well, stunt people. I shouldn't just say stuntmen. But yes, when they're doing their fight scenes, and it's coordinated, so you're waiting for a certain beat, and then they're running in and doing their action, and then they come back out and they wait for their next beat to come in. Like, it's how they have to film those things, because you are confined to the way that it's staged. I often feel like games with this kind of combat are similar to that, and people, they crap on about how turn-based combat in, role-playing strategy games, and that is, you know, rubbish because it's not realistic, or it's a lot of sitting around just waiting for the characters to do things. But it's almost the same as this. It just has a few little more button prompts in between, but you are just waiting for a counter in the end, so you can attack, or you're just trying to time it so you can get your combo up. It's still similar to me. But I think it was a great game, and then the final boss is just crap. Joker taking the Titan stuff, becoming like a giant monster, it just kind of sucked and ruined it a bit, but that opened it up for more things in the future in terms of what it did to the Joker, and coming out of the that having a sickness and blah-de-blah-de-blah. There's a lot of stuff on there, but the gameplay was great, and then the final boss just kind of sucked and kind of ruined the whole story aspect of it. But yeah, like I'm saying, it did open up for Arkham City, and then when you go into that, like, that's great. Like, those two games together are amazing. I absolutely love how that all worked. And I think, like, the voice acting by Mark Hamill, on point. On point. Great Joker. Great use of skill with his voice. Yeah, it's one of those things, I guess, that we really did enjoy this game, and it kind of created a great franchise that I guess has now moved on to other things, and I like to see other superhero franchises booted into something awesome like this. I mean, now that we've got Spider-Man, what other superheroes could we have in that kind of format? Who knows? I highly recommend Arkham Asylum. Yeah. Hope you have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, have a great day. I'll see you then.